हेलो फ्रेंड्स। हम अपने आई दृष्टि करंट अफेयर्स की रिपोर्ट्स एंड इंडेक्सेस वाले सीरीज़ को कंटिन्यू करते हैं। UNFPA स्टेट्स ऑफ वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन रिपोर्ट 2025। Recent context: the United Nations Population Funds on June 2025 released its States of World Populations 2025 report titles The Real Fertility Crisis. Key highlights: current size of global population has reached 8,232 millions. While global growth has slowed due to declines of fertility rates, regional disparity persists. Low incomes and middle income countries continue to experience moderate to high population growth. The UNFPA emphasizes paradigm shift. The real concerns in non-overpopulations or underpopulations, but inability of individuals to meet their reproductive goals. About 65% of global population is in the 15 to 64 age groups, indicating a potential for economic growth. Education and autonomies of women are directly linked to reproductive behaviors. Higher education level correlated with lower fertility rates. Autonomy leads to better health seeking behavior and contraceptive uses. India's demographic key facts. India has remained was most populous country in 2025's 1,463.9 million peoples. India's total fertility rate has dropped 1 to 1.9 to below the replacements level of 2.1. The UN reports is in the line of the National Fertility Health Survey's result stating that India fertility rate stood at 2.0 in 2022. Over two-thirds, 68% of the population are aged 15 to 64 year, which is the working age group, thereby highlighting its high potential demographic dividends. People above the age of 65, only 7%. Life expectancies is 71% of males and 74% of females. In 2025, India is placed in a group of middle-income countries undergoing rapid demographic change, with population doubling times now considered estimate at 79 years. Real fertility crisis in India: 36% of Indians have experienced unintended pregnancies. 30% face unfulfilled desires for children. 23% 23% experience both. Fertility challenges reflects denials of reproductive choice, not just overpopulations and underpopulations. Family pressure continues to dominate women's reproductive decisions, especially from in-laws and elders. Global Gender Gaps Report 2025. Recently, the ninth edition of Global Gender Gaps Report 2025 was released 11 June 2025. The report was released by World Economic Forums. About this report, it was started in 2006. In this edition, a total 148 economics are included in the list. The reports presented dire pictures of current state and evaluation of gender parities across four indices: economic participation and opportunities, educational attainments, health and survivals, political empowerment score. The Global Gender Gaps Index measure on 0 to 100 scales. First, Iceland's parity 0.962, Finland's 0.879, Norway 0.863, United Kingdom 0.838, New Zealand 0.827. European countries accounts for 8 of the top 10 rankings. Iceland, Finland, Norway and Sweden have been all in top 10 since 2016. 6. Bottom country: Pakistan, Sudan, Chad, Iran and Guyana. India's has dropped to 131st place among 148 countries in 2025. In 2024, India's ranked 129th among 146 countries. Although some indicators show modest improvement, India's countries to lag behind of South Asia's neighbors. India's gender parity score is 64.4%. Political empowerment's major concern. India's performance dropped significantly in these areas. Women representation in parliament declined from 14.7% 2024 to 13.8% 2025. The percentage of female ministers also fell from 6.5 to 5.6. This is continues downward trends from 2019 is high of 30%, making this India as the weakest area of performance. Regions comparison in South Asia, Bangladesh surged 25% of 24th place led by strong political empowerment. Nepal 125, Bhutan 119, Sri Lanka's 130, all ranks higher than India. Only Maldives 138 and Pakistan's 148 ranks lower in the regions. World Press Freedom Index. The World Press Freedom Index 2025 released by Reporters Without Borders ranked India's at 151st amongst 180 countries, marking an 8th place improvement from 159 position in 2024. Despite the climbs, India remains in a very serious categories, indicating ongoing challenges to press freedoms. Top ranked countries including Norway first, Estonia second, Netherlands third, while Eritrea's 180, North Korea 179 and China 178 were bottoms. Among neighboring countries, India's rank ahead Bhutan's 152, Pakistan 158, but trails Nepal 190, Maldives 104, Sri Lanka 139 and Bangladesh 149. The index evaluates 5 criteria: political context, legal framework, economic pressures, socio-cultural influence, and generally safety. India's modest rise reflects some improvements but highlighting persistent issues such as media ownership, concentration, corporates, political influence, and threats to journalists. Legal actions and harassment continue to suppress editorial independence. The WPFI 2024 also reveals that over 56% of the world's population lives in countries with very serious press freedom concerns, with worsening trends in conflicts zone and authoritarian regimes. In India's whilst the slight improvements may indicate stabilizations, the nation still sits in bottom 20% globally, underscoring a fragile environment for journalists. Even India's democratic frameworks where freedom of the press stems of Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. The report serves as a reminder of the needs to protect and promote press freedoms, are vital to democratic health. The Time Higher Education's Asia University Ranking. The Times Higher Education's Asia University Ranking 2025 released on April 23, 2025 highlight India's rising academic stature with 26 Indian institutions featured among Asia's top 250 universities. The Indian Institute of Science Bangalore leads the Indians entries at a joint 38 positions, while Sulini's University retails in titles as India's top private university ranked 146 in Asia. This year's ranks evaluate 853 universities from 35 countries based on 18 performance indicators across 4 areas: teaching, research, knowledge transfers, and international outlooks. Top 5 universities Asia are Tsinghua's University, China's Peking's University, China's National University of Singapore's Nanyang Technology Universities, and University of Tokyo, Japan. China dominates the top 10, holding 5 positions. Hong Kong's 6 university all entered top 50s of the first times since 2017. India's IS scored 65.2 overall excellence in industries engagement 97.3 and performing strongly in teachings and research qualities. Anna University ranked 101 with a notable research qualitative scores of 80.0, surpassing even IISC. In that metrics, though it shows weaker performance and international outlooks 20.2 and teachings 43.3. Shulini University ranked 5th in India stood out among private institutions with 81.5 in research qualities, 71.54 in international outlooks, ranking 2nd and 4th in India respectively in these categories. Overall 2025's ranking underscores India's growing academic footprint in Asia, driven both public and private institutes. With sustained policy support and global engagement, India's universities are well positioned for further advancements in international higher education ranking. Ranking of Indian universities. First, rank 38 Indian Institute of Science. Anna Universities 111. Anna Universities. Third, 131 Indian Institute of Technology Indore. Fourth, 140 Mahatma Gandhi University Kottayam. Fourth, 146 rank Shulini Universities Biotechnology and Management Science. Sixth, 149 Savitha Institutes of Medical and Technical Science. 161 Jamia Millia Islamia. 184 Indian Institutes of Technology Guwahati. 184 Kate Universities. 10th rank 188 Aligarh Muslim Universities. 11 188 UPES, the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. World Social Report 2025. The United Nations World Social Report 2025 titles A New Policy Consensus to Accelerate Social Progress, released on April 24, 2025, calls for a new global policy consensus to addressing rising inequalities, economic insecurity and declining public trust. Produced by UNDESA in collaboration with UNU-WIDERS, the reports emphasize the urgent needs of inclusive, equitable and resilient societies through fair taxation, universal social protections and renewed multilateralism. Key finding: economic insecurity. 60% of the global population worried about losing jobs, and many faces economic instability. Over 690 million people still live in extreme poverty. Inequalities. Income inequalities has divided and widened into two-thirds of countries. The richest 1% now owns more than 95% of the world's populations. Labor market fragility. Informal precarious jobs dominated in regions like Africa and South Asia, leaving workers highly vulnerable. Low institutional trust. Over the half of the global population lack trust in governance driven by economic distress, misinformation and governance failure. Climate and conflict impact. In 2024, 1 in 5 people face climate shocks while 1 in 7 endures conflicts, undermining development gains. Positive trends. Over 1 billion people lifted out of the extreme poverty since 1995. Progress in literacy, life expectancy and access to essential services. Measurable success in social inclusion and narrowing inequalities related to ethnicities, location and social economic status. Structural changes and policy gaps. Weak social protection systems, inequitable tax policies and underfunded public services exacerbates global disparity. Digital misinformations and growing polarizations are eroding social cohesion. Youth distrust institutions and fragilities of development gains threaten sustainable progress. Call to actions. The reports urge creation of the new social contract builds on equality and solidarity, strong public institutions, global cooperations to confront interconnected challenges across the economic, social and environmental spectrums. The Shams, while the reports highlighted substantial progress, it also warns that without systematic reforms, inequalities and insecurities will continue to undermine Global Stability and Development. Corruption Perception Index. The Corruption Perception Index 2024 released Transparency International's on February 14, 2025, evaluates 180 countries on perceived public sector's corruption using a scale of 0 highly corrupted to 100 very clean. The global average remains low at 43, with two-thirds of the countries scoring below 50s, reflecting persistent governance challenges. India's performance. India's ranked 96th share, with Maldives dropping 93 in 2023, with its score falling to 38 from 39. They indicate stagnations in her anti-corruption efforts. Amongst its China's 76th ranked significantly higher, while Pakistan 135, Sri Lanka's 121 and Bangladesh 151 ranked lower. Global trends. Top performance. Denmark leads 7th consecutive years with a score 90, followed by Finland 88, Singapore 84, with New Zealand 83 falling out of the top 3 for the first time since 2012. Lowest ranks South Sudan's score 8, Somalia 9, Venezuela's 10, reflecting weak institutional conflicts, a lack of transparency. Democratic links. Full democracy average 73, flawed democracies 43, and authoritarian regime 33, showing a strong correlation between democratic strength and anti-corruption effectiveness. Long-term shifts. Since 2012, improved Moldova, Kuwait, Uruguay shows consistent CPI gains. Decliner. 47 countries declines, including democratic like the USA, New Zealand, and authoritarian state like Russia 22, and Eswatini is 27. World Happiness Report 2025. World Happiness Report 2025 released in March 2025 by Wellbeing Research Centers at University of Oxford ranked Finland as the happiest countries of the 8 consecutive year. The report produced the collaborations with Gallups and the Union Sustainable Development Solution Network and an independent editorial boards. This evaluates 147 countries based on 6 key indicators: GDP per capita, social supports, health, life expectancy, freedom, generosities, and perception of corruptions. Key global findings. Top performers. Nordic countries lead again. Finland, Denmark, Iceland, and Sweden occupies top 4 spot. Costa Rica 6th and Mexico 10th enters the top 10 for the first time. Despite several conflicts and Israel's ranked 8th, Western declines. United States 24th and United Kingdom 23rd recorded their lowest rank ever due to rising social isolations. Example of 53% rises in people's dining allowance in US over the 2 decades. Least happy. Afghanistan's remain the lowest ranks, followed by Sierra Leone and Lebanon's, driven by conflict and instabilities. India's performance. India rose to 180th from 126 in 2004 amongst 147 countries, with the score increasing 4.054 to 4389. Category-wise rankings: 10th in volunteerings, 57th in donations, 74th in helping strangers. Wallet returns rank 155 by neighbors, 86 by strangers, 93 by police. Despite gains, India is ranked below Nepal 92, Pakistan 119, Ukraine 111, the state of Palestine 108. Global Hunger Index. Recently, in October 2024, the Global Hunger Index was released, highlighting India's continuing and serious hunger crisis. Themes. The theme for 2024's Hunger Index: How Gender Justice Can Advance Climate Resilience and Zero Hunger. Global Hunger Threats. The world's 2024 Global Hunger Index score 18.3, classified as moderate hungers. They represent only a slight decrease from 2016's score 18.8, indicating slow progress. Countries with global hunger index less than 5 are ranked at the same position as rank first. There are total 22 countries ranked first at first positions, including Belarus, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Chile, China, etc. Africa south of Sahara, South Asia exhibits highest level of hunger. Six countries including Somalia, Yemen, Chad, Madagascar, Brunei, and South Sudan. Sudan faces alarming levels of hunger. Somalia faces prolonged hunger crisis due to conflicts, economic challenges, and climate shocks, with 51.3% of the population lacking sufficient calories, the second highest globally. 123 dams Strip of Congo, 124 Madagascar, 125 Chad, 126 Yemen, 126 Somalia. At current pace, global hungers will not be eradicated by 2030 if progress continues as observed. Rate lower hunger globally may not be achieved until 21,160, 2160, which is over 130 years from now. Hunger classifies alarming six countries: Burundi, Chad, Madagascar, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Additionally, 36 countries are experiencing serious hunger trend in India. The Global Hunger Index 2024, India is ranked 105 out of 127 countries. India's Global Hunger Index 27.3 category as a series slightly improved from 28.7 in 2023. Undernourished children, 13.7 of children under 5 are undernourished. Stunned children, 35.5 of children under 5 years are stunned, reflecting chronic undernutrition. Wasted children, 18.7 of the children under 5 are wasted, the highly globally indicating acute undernutrition. Child mortality, 2.9% of the children die before age of 5. A key indicators of inadequate nutrition or poor living conditions. Global Hunger Index score. The Global Hunger Index scores 18.3, considered moderate, showing slight improvement since 2016. Regional comparisons. South Asian neighbors Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka perform better than all, falling into the moderate categories. The Global 106 is a peer-reviewed report published annually by Consol Worldwide Wealth Hunger Life. The Global Hunger Index is designed to comprehensively measure and track hungers at global, regional, and national levels, reflecting multiple dimensions of hunger over the times. The Global Hunger Index scores is calculated on 100-point scale, with 0 being best, no hungers, 100 being is the worst. 100 being be the worst. 4 component indicator undernourishment. The share of the populations was whose caloric intake is insufficient to maintain the health life as defined of the Food and Agriculture Organization. Child stuntings. The share of child under the 5 who are short of their ages indicating chronic undernutrition. Child wastings. The share of children under 5 who are too thin for their height indicating acute undernutrition. Child mortality. The share of children who dies before the 5th birthday, often due to inadequate nutrition and unhealthy. SIPRI report 2020. Recently on March 10, 2025, Stockholm International Peace Research Institute's report release. Key highlights of the reports. The overall volumes of global armed transforms remained steadily compared to 2010-14 and 2015-19. It was, however, 18% higher than the 2005 and 9 levels. The top 10 arm exporter remains the same as in 2015 and 19. The USA increased its global share to 43% of 43%, 21 rise from the previous period, exporting to 107 countries. Ranked China's with 4.9 of exports but faces political resistance from major buyers. The USA arm exporter grew by 21% between 2015-19 to 2000 2024. Saudi Arabia was top buyers of US arms, 12% of total US exports. सो ये बॉक्स है, आप इस बॉक्स में देख सकते हैं, मैं इसको जूम कर देता हूँ. Next, Global Innovation Index. The Global Innovation Index has been published annually since 2007 by the World Intellectual Property Organization, a specialized agency, United Nations. In fact, the 2024 Global Innovation Index was released September 26, 2024, marking 7th editions. The theme of this edition is unlocking the promise of social entrepreneurships. The index evaluates the ranks the innovation performance of 133 economies worldwide. For 14 consecutive years, Switzerland 67.5 ranked first as the most innovative in economics, while Angola 10.2 ranks last at 133 third. The countries that improved the most GI rankings since 2013, including China, Turkey, India, Vietnam, the Philippines, Indonesia, Iran, Morocco. The top 40 countries of Global Innovation Index 2024, only 5 are medium income economics: China's, Turkey, India's, Malaysia's, Bulgaria's. Top 3 countries of Global Innovation Index 2024: first Switzerland, second Sudan, third USA. India has been recognized as an innovations over performance for 14 consecutive years, 2011 to 2024, ranking 39th in Global Innovation Index 2024 with a score 38.3, up from 40 in 2023. India's most innovative economics in Central and South Asia and ranks the first among 38 lower middle income countries. World Giving Index. In August 2024, the Charities Aid Foundation's CAF releasing World Giving Index 2024, which highlights global trends in generosities. World Giving Index 2024 includes 142 countries. According to the report, Indonesia is ranked as most generous countries. India has achieved 26th position in index. The last 4 countries 2024 ranking: Poland, Japan, Cambodia, and Lithuania. Top 3 countries World Giving Index: first Indonesia, second Kenya, third Singapore. So friends, रिपोर्ट्स एंड इंडेक्सेस की ये सीरीज़ यहीं कंप्लीट होती है. नेक्स्ट सीरीज़ में हम इंटरनेशनल इवेंट्स को देखेंगे. सो थैंक यू. प्लीज़ लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब माय चैनल्स and stay tuned for next videos. Thank you.